identify the issues faced by the MSME in India, discuss the recommendations of KB, Commonwealth Panel to address the issue of flow of funds in the sector. Hints: in India, the MSME sector employs nearly 11 crore people and contributes to around 17% of the GDP. Products ranging from the khadi to one wears for occasions, cottage products like honey and koi to the many ancillary items used in industrial production, are all manufactured in this sector. Issues faced by this sector are lack of adequate capital and timely access to credit, poor infrastructure access to modern technology, access to markets and marketing facilities, getting statutory clearances related to power, environment, labor, etc. Competition from neighboring countries like China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, etc. Recent global slowdown and downfall in exports, lack of adequate awareness about GOVT programs and schemes. GS score. Hints: Indian economy 33. KB. Commonwealth Panel has given a number of recommendations to encourage this MSME sector. Create an apex authority which would be called a National MSME Authority under the Ministry of MSME, to ensure a single point resource center which will be a nodal agency to execute and administer programs, benefits, and grievance redressal, facilitate ease of doing business, registration and inclusion by using dialogue, Aadhaar, achieve, in a time-bound manner, universal financial inclusion of MSMEs by using the above registration to ensure that every registered MSME has a bank account. Increase the flow of equity to the MSME sector. Encourage establishment of an effective, online, technology-driven receivables financing platform with wide participation by credit providers, MSMEs, corporate and government units. Expand coverage under and enhance effectiveness and utilization of credit guarantee/insurance schemes and make the programs accessible to a wider set of credit providers. Leverage outreach points outside the formal financial system akin to the banking correspondent model to enhance access to financial services through a hub and spoke approach. Has also leveraged a national MSME portal to expand access. Encourage expansion in coverage of credit bureaus to include a wider range of credit institutions and a wider range of transaction records to facilitate the better credit and payment history of the buyer and the seller. Based on the recommendations of the committee, bank credit to the MSME sector, which was 10 lakh crores as of March 2014, could scale up to as much as 30 lakh crores in 5 years. Associated concepts: steps taken by GOVT to promote MSME. The government has augmented coverage of the sector under the Credit Guarantee Fund scheme, with limit of loan being doubled from Rs 1 crore to Rs 2 crores. The cluster development program of the government aims to create assets like common facility centers to access latest tools, technology, designs, etc. There is a credit guarantee scheme for MSME sector which focuses on availing funds for this sector. Industrial extension services, institutional support with reference to credit facilities, providing developed sites for the construction of sheds, providing training facilities, supply of machinery on the basis of hired purchase terms, enabling assistance for domestic marketing and exports, offering special incentives for creating enterprises in backward areas, and so on, offering technical consultancy and financial assistance for the purpose of technological enhancement. GS score 3 for hints. Indian economy 19. World Economic Forum recently launched Global Manufacturing Index based on how well prepared countries are for the future of manufacturing production. With reference to report, discuss the status of manufacturing in Indian economy, challenges the sector is facing and possible way out to usher in a sustainable production future. Hints: WEF Global Manufacturing Index, which rank countries according to their preparation for future manufacturing production, highlighted comparison among countries in the development of new production techniques, implementing strategies, competitive paradigm and challenges they are facing. Status of manufacturing in India. India is ranked at 30th position on a global manufacturing index, below China's 5th place but above other BRICS peers, Brazil, Russia and South Africa. India has been placed in the legacy group strong current base, at risk for future, along with Hungary, Mexico, Philippines, Russia, Thailand and Turkey, among others. As per report, India is the 5th largest manufacturer in the world, with a total manufacturing value added of over $420 billion in 2016. The country's manufacturing sector has grown by over 7% per year on average in the past 3 decades and accounts for 16 to 20% of India's GDP. In terms of scale of production, India has been ranked 9th, while for complexity it is at 48th place. For market size, India is ranked 3rd. Challenges in manufacturing sector, report listed human capital and sustainable resources as the two key challenges for India. Lack of skilled manpower, India severely lacks skilled professionals. Only 2.5% of Indians has received skill training, compared to Japan 75% and Germany 80%. Areas where the country is ranked poorly 98 or even lower include female participation in labor force, trade tariffs, regulatory efficiency and sustainable resources. Complex government regulations and taxation laws, firms find it easier to reduce tax burden if they remain small, i.e. below 5 crore capital expenditure. Thus, growth of small manufacturing units is being penalized. Lack of technology and R&D, Indian firms spend less than 10% in R&D. Also, more than 75% of manufacturing activity is done by cottage, micro and small industries, which use obsolete technology and old-age capital machines, where productivity is very low. MSME sector, which accounts for near 40% of industrial production, 90% of industrial units and 10 million jobs left out in modernization, especially in infrastructure, technology and marketing and productivity enhancement. Process and quality management is below par. On-time delivery record is also below par. The ecosystem for design/tech development/innovation/productivity improvement is not conducive. Most of the entrepreneurs looking for short-term returns. Skewed labor laws, India has more than 45 labor laws combining center and states. This leads to harassment and undue interference in industrial activity by bureaucracy. Financing costs are very high. This impacts global competitiveness. GS score. Hint, Indian economy 35. While most were happy about the overall economic growth, the gradual domination of foreign players/foreign technology/foreign brands and increasing share of low-cost Chinese imports, blunting the manufacturing sector in India. The enterprises in this sector have a growth problem. They suffer from low productivity given that their small size prevents them from achieving economies of scale, among other disadvantages. Way out to usher in a sustainable production future. Sustainable production future is solution-driven, human-centric, environmentally sound, and inclusive. Following the steps need to be taken for it. Transition framework. New transition frameworks to help governments co-design and implement strategies in collaboration with the private sector, civil society, and academia. While the readiness assessment serves as a diagnostic, the transition framework will support treatment of the diagnosis. The country needs to continue to raise the capabilities of its relatively young and fast-growing labor force. This entails upgrading education curricula, revamping vocational training programs, and improving digital skills. India should continue to diversify its energy sources and reduce emissions as its manufacturing sector continues to expand. Promoting women entrepreneurship, skills and education along with sharing adequate opportunities with women to enhance their participation. Needs conducive environment with low tax rates, absence of bribery, corruption and neatly defined laws to end the harassment from the regulators. Environmentally responsible technology and production model to be promoted. Need more bold reforms in labor laws, Shramith Jagya portal, online compliance and codification of labor laws into 4 codes are welcome steps. Investors' confidence must be improved by creating competitive environment, which will attract much needed FDI inflows in India. More practical approach and regulations under Startup India should be adopted to increase its spread. India need to work on emerging technologies, such as the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics and additive manufacturing and business model that will fundamentally transform production. It is also imperative to implement industrial strategies that promote productivity and inclusive growth, then India can be on path of sustainable and inclusive production future. 20. The handloom industry in India not just an economic activity, but exhibits the national identity that is admired and appreciated all over the world. However, this sector is ailing. What are the reasons behind it? How its situation can be improved? Hint, the handloom industry in India exhibits the national identity that is admired and appreciated all over the world given its unique, unparalleled, rich heritage. It exhibits the spectacular craft of our artisans and nourishes the social fabric of the country. India produces almost 85% of the world's handloom products and sector is the second largest unorganized set of economic activities in the country, after agriculture, that supports rural areas. GS score 36 hints. Indian economy. More than 3/4 of all adult weavers are women and members of SC/street/OBC communities. There are almost 2.4 million handlooms in India, of which almost 85% are in villages. Thus, sector provides huge job and economic opportunities to rural population of specially vulnerable sections. However, according to Textile Ministry's handlooms census, the sector is registering degrowth in employment generation, overall value addition and exports. Reason behind ailing of handloom sector. Today, a major difficulty of handloom weavers across the country is the non-availability of adequate quantities of good quality yarn at reasonable prices. Since most of the weavers are illiterate or less educated and the separation of producers from the market has given rise to middlemen. Trader entrepreneurs who may know the market well, and thus be able to meet new demands often dominate existing marketing channels. But as traders, they also block the trickle-down of benefits even though the profit margin is quite high. Technological advancements are increasingly encouraged in the country, and rightly so. Sadly, this impacts the handloom industry negatively, and the cutthroat competition from power looms has put the very existence of the handloom sector in doubt. The credit facilities currently available to weavers are far from adequate. Even those made available through cooperatives rarely reach the section for whom it is intended. This is because master weavers control a number of cooperatives and tend to corner a substantial proportion of institutional credit. There is a significant mismatch between cloth production and marketing. The decline of local markets for handlooms is a reality today. The centralized marketing bodies of weaver cooperatives to have been malfunctioning. Not receiving payments in time for the products supplied by the Apex Marketing Agency has led to the collapse of a number of cooperatives, since they are unable to generate/rotate capital for subsequent rounds of production. Steps need to be taken to improve the situation. Use of high-value raw material to match the input value of material and high cost of production in handloom and produce only value-added products. Diversification of handloom products. Product development to maximize the value addition. Awarding GI tags and brand name to get premium to artisans. Direct market linkage with the developed communication media will boost the market potential further. Eliminating role of middlemen. Promoting direct sale through cooperatives or primary groups. Integrating the weavers either in cooperative or some group fold so that credit availability and negotiation can be boosted. Marketing of products at suitable platforms with help of government agencies and adaptation of fair trade practices. Sensitize handloom weaving as a modern profession like fine arts, photography, music, etc. Motivate youngsters towards handloom sector. Incentive schemes towards handloom research. GS score. Hint. Indian economy 37. India is considered to be the world's best handloom hub, and this will continue to be so in the future. Handloom sector has high potential to grow further with focused approach while matching with the modern aspects of livelihood. Hand-woven products are vibrant. It is made with the threads potent with tenacity, strength, passion, and dignity. Fabrics so produced carry special values and hence should not be deprived of its value for money. With such belief, handloom will remain sustainable as ever. However, many weavers are uneducated and rely solely on their skills that have been passed on to them by their previous generations. This is traditional knowledge for them, and it is the government's responsibility to take their concerns and future into account.